This week.
From the time I was born, through all of my days.
As we're all aware, the reason PlayStation VR2 didn't come out in time for holiday 2022 is because Sony wanted to give PS5 the spotlight for a few more months, and making sure everyone who wanted to get one could. This meant that they were holding off as long as possible before giving PSVR2 the marketing push it deserves. Well, it seems like that time has come. This new ad attempts to demonstrate all of the innovative next-gen features of PSVR2, and rumors are pointing to a state of play very, very soon. Some might even say days before launch. Stay tuned, because things are about to get very interesting. Over the last 6 years of covering PlayStation VR, I can easily point to 6 or 7 games that gamers desperately wanted a PSVR version of. Alien Isolation and BioShock were two of the most common, but one that you might not have expected to see on that list is the free-to-play MMO War Thunder. Well, the developers must have been listening, because they're considering making a PSVR2 spin-off that focuses mostly on air combat. Now, if you're like me and you want the full game of War Thunder in VR, head over to their website, take their survey, and tell them that there's no reason War Thunder in its entirety couldn't be done on PSVR 2. Song in the Smoke is one of my favorite games of last gen, so the fact that it's getting a PSVR 2 exclusive upgrade is everything I was hoping for. But if you're new to VR or somehow missed this one on the PSVR 1, you're in luck, because the developers over at 17-bit are saying Song in the Smoke Rekindled will launch with a free demo over on the PlayStation Store. So make sure you check this one out when you get your new headset. Okay, I have good news and I have bad news. The good news is that the rumor PAVLOV would be delayed on PSVR 2 turned out not to be true. It'll be here on day one, which is a great thing because it's one of the only real shooters in the launch window. Oh, and the bad news? Okay, I mean, this isn't the worst news ever, but it does seem that the big PSVR 2 update for No Man's Sky has been pushed out of the 22nd into somewhere in the launch window. But like I said, this isn't all that bad, considering that Sony considers the launch window to be only a month long. So expect No Man's Sky sometime before March 22nd.
Here is the PSVR 2 packaging. If you take a look at the box, you will notice that the outside is blue.
Aha, unboxings. They've taken YouTube by storm, and the PlayStation VR 2 has been no different. It seems that every channel and gaming website dropped their PSVR 2 unboxing on the same day, which isn't a coincidence. It's just when the embargo lifted. Sony's own unboxing video is a little dry, so if you haven't seen it yet, you can probably skip it. Instead, I recommend watching our friend Ian Higton unbox his headset over on Eurogamer. He tackles all the important stuff that Sony seemed to ignore.
I filmed earlier a size comparison between this and my cat Tilly.
This week, developer Neat Corporation revealed that their crafting, gardening, fishing, cooking, building, upgrading, boating, exploration, adventure game, Garden of the Sea, would be hitting PSVR 2 at launch. It would be way too easy for this one to fall under the radar though, with its cartoon visuals that so many VR games seem to employ these days. But don't let it. This one is sure to be something special, especially for all you Animal Crossing fans out there.
Night and never
Speaking of games that could fall under the radar, the more we hear about Funktronic's roguelite shooter The Light Brigade, the more I want to play it. This unlisted video from their YouTube channel shows a bit more of what the moment-to-moment gameplay will be like, which for a lot of us might invoke some memories of in-death on PlayStation VR 1. I do have to say that I have a strange feeling that once we start playing The Light Brigade, we might not want to stop. Every week, amazing game cat and friend of the channel, Professor Lilith, organizes a multiplayer meetup to give some old PSVR 1 games some love and attention. It happens every Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern, and this week there will be 2 games being played, starting with the silly but really fun Bullet Roulette, followed up by Star Trek Bridge Crew. If you can't make today's meetup, don't worry, it happens every week at the same time, so make sure you click the link in the description below, join our Discord, and join us for the next one. Oh man, the hype for Gran Turismo 7 is at an all-time high in the VR community. Racing wheels are selling out, entire rigs are being built, licenses are being acquired, all in preparation for the day our PSVR2 headsets show up in the mail. So let's add a little more hype to these proceedings, shall we? Over on GTPlanet.net, in an interview with Polyphony's CEO Kazunori Yamauchi, he reveals that Gran Turismo 7 was built from the ground up for VR since day one. He goes on to say, "I think it's a big moment. Obviously for Gran Turismo 7, but at the same time for VR. I think it's an important moment for that technology as well. I think at the current time the combination of Gran Turismo 7 and PSVR 2 right now is the best VR experience that humankind can have, and I think it's something to be celebrated." Well, I'm sold. What about you?
This week.